Yeah, I'm a healer, and so people pay me, to help them. And it's an interesting journey because as I've gotten more and more fine-tuned to my own well-being, sometimes I also do acupuncture, so it's like, it's time for you to lay down. I'll just put needles in you, and this will really help you. So I just stop because sometimes people really, really want to convince me of their misery and how important that misery is to them.
One thing that we know you've noticed for sure is that if you have a resistant patient or student, but you are able to stay in alignment with who you are, in that alignment, the perfect words and the perfect methodology for who they are and where they are will occur to you. In other words, that the whole point that we're making here, it's lovely what you're doing to help others, and you are. But what this conversation is about you just making sure of where you are, get on the high-flying disc, and then. So that's why the less conversation you have with them, the less that they are able to convince you of where they are, the more opportunity you have of tapping into that high-flying energy of well-being and with ease delivering it to them. So your conversation is more about helping them to relax and allow than anything. You see, here's the most interesting thing about this subject. Every single one of them, like you, has access to this energy of well-being. They're just not as practiced at tuning to it. It doesn't come as naturally to them because they haven't been doing it deliberately. Mm-hmm. But they have an advantage that you don't have in that their desire to tap into it is stronger. So with their desire being in a heightened place and with their expectation being such that they believe that you are of advantage to them, then they're in that place of desiring and allowing at the same time. And that's the magic formula for anything. When you want something and doubt it, it can't come, not right now. When you want something and hope it, it's moving towards you, but it's not coming home. When you want something and believe it, now you're having the experience of it, and you do that enough and you know it. Mm-hmm. And when you know it, then there's just not any. And so that's sort of what you stumble upon every now and again, is that you know this, and wouldn't it be nice if everyone else could know that? And what we really want you to know is just your alignment in the moment. That's all you have to do. Mm-hmm. If you could let those people who are lying there with the needles that you have stuck into them be irrelevant to your knowing. That's the thing. Irrelevant to your knowing. You just know this so clearly. You just know it so that you are dominating the vibration. That's really what we want to talk about. Who is dominate? So you've come together with, let's say, one other person, just for the sake of a simple analogy. Who is dominating the vibrational atmosphere of the two of you? Well, you might think whoever has the highest vibration. But it isn't who has the highest vibration. It's who has the most momentum on the disc that they're on. Isn't that good to know? Mm-hmm. So if you're feeling sort of kind of good and you feel pretty good and you walk into a firestorm of your children or someone who's really got a lot of strong momentum going, you don't stand a chance with them. You say to us, Abraham, I've fallen out of an airplane and I have no parachute. What do you think I should do now? And we say, hang on, it will be over in a little while. Because that momentum is such that there's not much you can do with action that's going to turn it around. So, you're helping us to drive home the point that we so much want you to hear. Your plan, your best plan, the only really workable plan is to get on that high-flying disc and do it and do it and do it and do it until you are so stable on that high-flying disc that you're not only the highest frequency in the room, you've got the most momentum in the room. And don't you know that? Don't you know those people that are so attractive? You just want to be around them. They're high-flying, they're fun, they're sure, they're happy, they know what they're talking about, they're just nice to be with. Don't you find yourself drawn to situations like that? That's that momentum factor, you see. So the best combination of all, first time we've ever said this, you're drawing it from us. Best combination in the world. High-flying disc and plenty of momentum. And how do you get there? You practice. We know it's a great price to pay, all that happiness. Okay, Abraham, if it'll help others, I'll get happy. If it'll make the world a better place, then I'll pay the price of happiness, bliss, satisfaction, interest, wealth. Helpful?
Very helpful. Just one other thing is this whole concept of laying new pipes. And that has been profound for me, actually, because now I'm engaged in another new business. And as I am engaged, and it's really joyful and the natural next step. And very.
What she's talking about, if you haven't heard, and if you haven't heard, where have you been? Because we've been talking about it a lot lately. But Esther's pond and stream cloudy, and determined that the reason for it is that the pipes that were taking the water out were open and the filter was functioning properly, but the pipes that were bringing the water back into the pond were clogged up. So they just laid some new pipes to make sure that that was all that needed to be done, and then it was, and so then they buried the new pipes, just left the old clogged pipes in the ground and just laid new pipes. And we are suggesting to many of our physical friends that you may very well have some old pipes. But the thing that you're helping us to say in a really important way is that there's a tendency to recognize that you've got some old beliefs that could use some clearing out. But the problem is, every time you go to clear them out, you just add to the momentum of those old pipes. It's like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. There's no bottom. There is no bottom. There's just more momentum, bringing you more of the same, because you live in a universe that's attraction-based. There's no exclusion. So the way you move in the direction of what you want is you lay new pipes. You just lay new pipes. Just lay them right over the top of the old pipes. Just lay new pipes. And here's what we really want to say in this perfect moment to say it. You want to do all of your laying of new pipes from your high-flying disc. 100% of your laying of new pipes. So when you're feeling really, 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 really good, that's when you want to talk about what you want. When you're feeling really, really, really good, that's when you want to do all of your affirming. All of your affirming. There's a tendency to say, oh, I don't feel good. I should get that deck of money cards and I should look through them. And you look through them and they just annoy you. Who writes this stuff, you say, as you look through these cards? They just annoy you. But when you're on the high-flying disc, every word resonates with you. And when you're having that feeling, oh, here's something that you will like relative to this pipeline. Esther's begun envisioning this pipeline between where she is, because she's heard us say for years, your inner being knows everything that you want, and knows where you stand in relationship to everything that you want. So Esther is envisioning this pipeline between where she is and everything that she wants. She can just feel that as the path of least resistance, where the cooperative components are just moving to her and she is moving to it. Creation is about rendezvousing, you see. So this rendezvousing of all that you're wanting. And so as you realize that you have control of that, and as you think more and more about it, you feel the momentum. Have you ever gotten on a personal rampage where, or it works often very well if you find the synergy with another person, where you are just high-flying together, exclaiming your appreciation of something together, just feeding off of one another together. Do you know what we're talking about? And do you ever feel that energy moving through your body? And Esther's begun thinking, oh, that energy moving through my body it's that same energy that's moving. I'm feeling it viscerally. I'm actually realizing this energy that's moving from me outward to this is my pipe opening moment. This is my laying new pipe moment. This is me in all of the universe laying pipes to everything that I care about. Everything that I care about. A Congress that is functioning. Why not? Why not? Religions that are finding their own happy alignment and leaving each other alone. Why not? Children all over the world finding food and safe haven. Why not? Why not send the energy that creates worlds outward from you to all things that you want? All things that you want. Not just your own personal things. That's all a given. You'll get all the money you want. You'll get all the things you want. You'll have all the relationships you want. In other words, there's nothing that is off limits. But there is no limit to what you can ask the universe to flow this energy to. Because your presence in this time-space reality and your sifting and sorting of this contrasting environment has caused you to launch all kinds of rockets that are in your vortex, that when you find alignment with that, you see, and you can't go back. That's one of the things that we really should put on the disclaimer that you sign that lets you know that we're going to be recording and videotaping and possibly live streaming, and it's a sort of disclaimer that you sign. We should add to it, oh, and there's one other thing, you can't go back. Once you know this stuff, you can't go back. You'll never feel negative emotion again and not knowing that you're on the grumpy disc. You'll never feel negative emotion again and not understand that that's your point of attraction, that you have done it to yourself. You'll never have a thought that is uncomfortable or a thought that is comfortable without understanding the resonance with who you really are or lack of it, you see. You never again will be confused about how to create your own reality. You'll never be confused again about what's going on with you or what's going on with anyone else. And our desire is that you are never confused again about doing all of your coaching and all of your healing and all of your affirming, all of your deliberate focusing from that high-flying disc. Just get on the disc and then, get on the disc and then, get on the disc and then, get on the disc and then. As you've been moving around this physical world, who's ever got the most momentum going is the one who gets to dictate where the rendezvous takes place. Some of you have become smart enough to just walk away. You can feel you're being sucked to a place you don't want to go, and so you say, be right back, and then you don't come back. Gotta go, talk to you in a little bit. Whoosh, off you go. But if you're the one on the Henri disc, you're digging in, aren't you? You're digging in with more information because it seems to feel important that someone join you. And we just want to say to you that really you want to join that high-flying source energy part of you. That's really what you're looking for. You're looking for that alignment. You're looking for the resonance of clarity. You're looking for the resonance of knowing. You're looking for the resonance of fun and good timing and agility and flexibility. You're looking for all of that. And that you find that, you realize that from the high-flying disc. So we're going to be talking here today about what you've got going on. You've got some habits of thought that aren't serving you. You've got some habits of thought that are serving you. You've got some dormant beliefs that don't affect you very often, but every now and again, one of them is activated by something you see or something that you hear, and then it begins to affect you for a little while. And we really want to call your attention to this really important thing, and that is your point of attraction is now. It's right now. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It only matters what you're doing vibrationally now. And you can get so that what happened yesterday doesn't affect what you're offering vibrationally now, but you've got to understand just a handful of things, and we'll be talking about them all day here. You've got to understand that you are a vibrational being and that you are emanating a signal, and you've got to understand that your thoughts are the reason for that signal, what you focus upon, and you've got to understand that the way you feel is an indication of how that blends with who you really are and what you really want. But most of all, we want you to leave this gathering knowing for sure that you can manage to have control over what disc you are on. So, we've been talking to you for years about how you create your own reality and how you create through the thoughts that you think. And we've watched you in various phases of your coming to understand this and apply it to your experience. We watched you go through the phase of, I create my own reality. That's just the best news ever. Into the, I create my own reality. How in the world do I do that? Into the, cancel. Cancel. Suck that thought back before the universe gets hold of it and brings me a manifestation.